The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hoop Ballers! Welcome back to another edition, another episode of Today in Sports Betting. It is me, Devin Ellington, at DALE007 on Twitter. And this is Today in Sports Betting, a hoop-ball.com presentation. Hoopball Gaming on Twitter at Hoopball Tweets, Hoopball Fantasy. Got a little bit of a postseason-based show today since there is MLB action all day. First game starts at 11:08 Central Time on ESPN, all the way up until the wee hours of tonight, and then there's the game one of the finals. So we'll cram it all in. I'm rolling solo today, so you got to bear with my voice through this whole thing. And before we unpack it all and start going through what is sports betting, got to talk about Manscaped, a show sponsor. Manscaped.com. You go there, you use HoopBall20, HOOPBALL20 is your promo code. You're going to get 20% off as well as free shipping. Lawnmower 3.0 just came out. It's new technology. Waterproof, fully electric, smooth and agile. Get your lawn mowed and use HoopBall20 as your promo code. Again, that's HOOPBALL20 at manscaped.com. Do it. I guess first things first, before I start breaking down the cards, should probably look at some news. As you may know or not know, it's still pretty fresh. This is being recorded at 10:40-ish here in the central parts of America. And that is the news of the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers game on Sunday being postponed due to COVID-19. Yeah, still happening. So watch out for that. I wouldn't put any wagers in on it. So most books have probably taken it down anyways. But even after they put it back, I'm not going to mess with that. Just because we've never had an NFL team have their game postponed and then have to play it at another date or time because of COVID. Not a lot of data on it. So I'm going to skip it. However, there are some really, really nifty NFL games that I will get to and not get ahead of my horses or my marbles here. Some early looks, something I'm locking in. But I need to talk about baseball first because that's what's going to be going all day today and early and often. First game is the Cincinnati Reds taking on Atlanta. And you heard Ira and I talk about this game a little bit yesterday because this is a good one. I think this is a great spot to back the Reds because, well, Max Fried's making a start, but he was in and out off the IR, IL, whatever you want to call it, throughout the year, namely in the big chunk of this season. And then he had to come out of another start in his last, handful of, I think it's his last 3 starts. He came out somewhere in there in the regular season. Got Trevor Bauer on the hill for the Reds. We know what he does. He's a power strikeout pitcher, and these Braves bats strike out a lot, but if they do make contact and when they hit, it's scary. So I might be looking at a team total over if it's low enough for Atlanta, but I'm backing the Reds here for the simple fact that there was value when the line opened. I think there's still value. Right now you can probably get them at plus 110 wherever you shop. But it opened at plus 140, and it's since moved pretty heavily. It's about a 50-50 split on the bet percentages. I just like the starting pitching, and I've taken, a couple of futures bets, with the Reds making it to the World Series, winning the World Series, as well as winning this series. But plus money on the Reds is too hard to ignore with them pitching the way they are, historically speaking. It's the postseason. It's the first game. Yesterday, I had some things that I gave reasonings on, and it was heavy in the regular season, because obviously that's what we've had to look at for the last 3 months. So I need to make sure to remind myself. I lost a couple bets yesterday because I'm hanging on to the regular season. We got to realize that this is postseason baseball. This is different. And there's a couple bets I made where I kind of just, overlooked some, bullpen rotations, how they shrank certain guys. I wasn't expecting Framber Valdez to come out for the A's or the Astros and do what he did and shut the Twins down. That game, that I'll take that one because, that was up until the ninth inning, it was tied 1-1, and then all of a sudden the Astros scored 3 in the top of the ninth. So whatever. Moving on to the next game for today. Next game on the slate is going to be the Miami Marlins taking on the Chicago Cubs. No, I'm sorry, I skipped one there. Houston. Speaking of Houston, see, look, I was talking about him. I should have just kept rolling. Houston plus 130 on the money line, opened at 140. Minnesota minus 145 to 150. Over under 7.5. And here's another thing. I'm not touching the over-unders on these games until we probably have, I want to see a couple of games played by each team and see how they're playing postseason baseball. This game, I thought yesterday it was a good spot for Kenta Maeda, and he did really well. So, but the pitchers today, we got Urquidy, his 2.73 ERA, right-handed pitcher for the Astros. Jose Barrios, right-handed, 4.0 ERA, strikeout pitcher. Man, after seeing what I saw with the Twins yesterday, I honestly think that Houston's got them in this series. And I think they can probably put it away right here. If I'm going to back something, which, this is not an official play, I think I just kind of got to roll with the plus money. Houston Astros, trash cans or not. Dusty Baker wasn't there, and Dusty Baker, he's a pretty good manager. Happened to deal with everything he did this year, and then with all the injuries they had. So, look at his leadership. I still feel like that this Astros team, I think they want to prove something. So I wouldn't be shocked if they win this and then they actually make it to the ALCS, just because that's the way it goes. So I might start looking at a couple futures prices for Houston before today's game also. So my take on that, Houston plus money on the money line. If they win today, they close it out. It's a best of 3 wild card series. Now we can talk about the Marlins and the Cubs. Cubs heavy favorite with Hendricks on the hill. Minus 165, plus 145. Opened at plus 170 for the Marlins. So lots of money coming in on them. Hey, I'm just going to come out and say it. Watch out for this Marlins team. I hope they don't ruin my 2020 even more and, beat the Cubs out of this postseason. But they're capable. They actually have some veterans hidden throughout that lineup. They got Don Mattingly managing. Obviously, Jeter in the front office. He made some questionable moves, but look how he's got the Marlins where they are. And they're in the postseason for the first time since 2003 or 2004. Last time they were in the postseason, they won the World Series. I'm not a coincidental kind of guy, but maybe they make a crazy run. 2020 is weird. Obviously, the Cubs are the spot to back. You got Sandy Alcantara, right-handed pitcher, 3.0 ERA on the mound for the Marlins. Keep an eye out for lineups on all these games. Managers are going to keep their lineups and their stuff a bit more secretive because of playoff baseball. And as far as some hitters I'm thinking to maybe look out for in this one, Miguel Rojas is sneaky in that lineup. And don't forget, the Marlins traded for Starling Marte to bolster some of their hitting numbers. They've got veterans in Jesus Aguilar, Corey Dickerson, Matt Joyce, the Dirty Birdie, John Birdie. So, like I said, maybe looking, let me see what we can find as far as a Marlins team total over. 3.5. I was hoping for 3, or maybe even 2.5. I think if Yu Darvish is on the mound, they would have got the 2.5. Anyways, that's my thoughts and takes on that one. You know, if you're going to play something, obviously you're going to sprinkle it on the Miami Marlins because they got the plus 150 money, 145. Obviously, some people are thinking the same. It's dropped from the 170 over under. Like I said, not touching. I was going to go with a Marlins team total over 2.5. Didn't find it. Maybe you could. Then the other Chicago team at 210. Taking on the Oakland A's, who I had a futures ticket on to win their division. So they did their job for me. So it's time for the White Sox to do their job for me, which I went ahead and took them to win the AL pennant and the World Series. Got some really good odds on that. They're plus 110 is where I locked them in this game. It's already moved down to plus 105 at the time of recording. This game's at 210 on ESPN. Got Dallas Keuchel and Chris Bassett on the mound. This will be a really great game. I think it'll be awesome. It's just going to be, it might be another 4-1 tight game. Like I said, Matt Chapman being gone for the A's, I was worried how heavy it was going to hit them, later in the playoffs. But, I don't think they're getting past these White Sox. So I'm looking at maybe the White Sox go ahead and just, take care of business here today. Go ahead and just take care of it, lock it up. These bats are just too good. You saw it yesterday. I mean, they were, these teams are going at each other left and right, just haymakers, jabs, and then all of a sudden, you got a guy like Adam Engel that you wouldn't expect to come out and hit a dinger. He does so. And then that gets it going, and, they get more confidence and discipline at the plate, and it's just hard to get them out when they do that. Tim Anderson, if he gets on the base path, he's going to swipe a bag. Eloy Jimenez is questionable, one of their outfield boppers, but they got guys to fill in. It's a righty on the mound today, so Nick Madrigal, who made the White Sox playoff roster, will probably be in because he absolutely rakes against righties. So look for that to be what happens today in this game, in my opinion. I want to look at a couple team totals. White Sox 3 okay. I see White Sox over 3.5 at plus money. It's a bit of a dart throw, but there's that even money. It's plus 100. Why not just go ahead and sprinkle that on there? I mean, they are the better offense, and if they're going to hit, if the over is going to hit, someone's got to hit their team total over, and I'm looking at the White Sox being the ones to do that. So over 3.5, even money. I like that. Going to talk about the next game. But before I do, let's talk about mybookie.ag. They are our other presenting sponsor. Use Hoopball, HOOPBALL, to get an initial deposit bonus. It's going to be a 100% match. And then you also get 10 free dollars to put on an MLB bet of your choosing. Futures, series odds. Take that $10 you get for free, split it up. A couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. Put a couple on the Reds to win the World Series at 38-1. Just saying. My bookie, they have great customer service. They take care of us, and we love sending people their way because we know that they'll take care of our listeners and followers. Hoopball, HOOPBALL, was the promo code. mybookie.ag. Bet, win, get paid. They have really fun NFL contests too. And blackjack. I play blackjack. You can play with a live dealer. It's pretty neat. Let's roll right along down this gravy train. Toronto and Tampa Bay. I tried to back Toronto yesterday. That was dumb. They're the 8 seed for a reason. Tampa Bay is the class of the AL East at the moment. Historically speaking, Toronto's pretty terrible against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gets it done here. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. They are minus 140, plus 120 on the money line to Toronto. Yesterday, I got them at plus 170. I thought Snell could get roughed up a little bit early. He didn't. Hyun-Jin Ryu, lefty, 2.69 ERA against Trevor Glasnow, righty, 4.08 ERA. No true opinion on much in this game. I'm just looking for Tampa Bay to win. I took some insurance policies out, got, my futures tickets on them too. Moving on, my underdog of the day, other than the White Sox, but to me, they're not the underdog because they're better than the A's. But I like the Cardinals in their spot today against the Padres. You got Kim on the mound. Kwang Hyun Kim, the lefty, with a 3-0 record, 1.61 ERA, versus Chris Paddock, 4-5, 4.73 ERA. First thing I'm going to point out, there's pretty good value on the Cardinals to win this series. This is a series that the Cardinals are they win time and time again. They come in underrated, underperforming, and then they get in the playoffs, and all of a sudden, they're in the World Series, and it's just the freaking Cardinals. I know, I sound like a Cubs fan. But that's them. And this is a spot that they can go ahead and take advantage of. Namely because Mike Clevenger is out. He's not going to be participating. So, to my knowledge, he's supposed to be out. Even outside of his starts, what you see teams do in the postseason is bring starters in to work 2-3 innings. Robbie Ray did it yesterday for the Blue Jays. But plus 140 for the Cardinals versus Chris Paddock. And again, I'm not trying to do the regular season thing too much here, but he has not looked like the way he's looked in the past. I think the Cardinals get to him. I think the bullpen of the Padres is going to be a little bit dicey. They're going to rely on the young bats. These young bats haven't really done it a whole lot in the postseason. That's not regular season stuff. You got Jake Cronenworth and Naylor and Fernando Tatis. Sure, Hosmer's been there. Machado, last time he was in the playoffs, he was in the World Series, and he wasn't even hustling down first base on a ball he could have beat out to keep the Dodgers alive. So, yeah, I think that's the kind of effort you're going to get from the Padres. I think they're a couple pieces out. I thought they were a piece away from making the postseason until we got the shortened season this year. But, again, their manager, it's just, he hasn't done it in the postseason. So, let's look at that. And I think the Cardinals are in a good spot here. Probably my favorite bet of the day. They're an underdog, and they're my dog of the day. And I hope they win because I like to win bets, and I like to give out winning bets. That's what it is about. Got 2 more to roll through, and I'm going to go ahead and just steamroll this, and then we'll talk some view on the basketball game, and then I need to go ahead and talk a little bit more football because I'm all wound up, and I need to talk about it. So, let's talk about the Yankees and the Indians first. Yankees minus 125 favorites, Indians plus 105 on the money line. Masahiro Tanaka, righty, 3.56 ERA on the mound versus Carlos Carrasco, righty, 2.91 ERA. I think I feared what I was fearing is going to happen and is happening. I talked crap about regular season Garrett Cole. Postseason Garrett Cole came out yesterday. Shane Bieber got lit up early. That was odd. But here come the Yankees bats just in time for October. Just watch it unfold. Watch it unfold, guys. They're going to take care of Cleveland tonight, I think. The Cleveland pitching rotation is what I really, really liked going into this matchup just because the Yankees strike out a bunch. But they're not striking out right now. And they got to Bieber. Like, they had to win game 1. The Indians did. So, generally just going to probably stay away from this one. But I think the Yankees have a big upper hand, and I think that they are going to produce more runs. And you have to score points to win the game, according to Joe Madden. Shout out, Mr. Madden. Not that he'll hear it, but shout out to Mr. Madden. Last game on the MLB card, we got the biggest dog of the day at plus 205. They opened at plus 190, and that is the Brewers of Milwaukee taking on the Dodgers of Los Angeles at minus 250. Oof. Guys, it's this is it. You got Suter on the mound. Lefty, 3.13 ERA for Milwaukee. So you get the hitting downgrade at least for the Dodgers being, well, and again, this is generally speaking about the regular season. Who knows? Maybe they wake up in the playoffs and they hit 900 as a team against, lefties. But honestly, there's only a couple guys career-wise too, just not talking about regular season, but from what the eyes have seen. And that's, Pollock, Kike Hernandez, AJ Taylor, Chris Taylor. Those guys, they hit some pretty good homers and contact. So, against lefties. Bueller's on the mound. Righty, 3.44 ERA. Again, these are regular season numbers, so do with that what you will. Obviously, plus 205 is crazy. I did put together an NL Central parlay just because I'm a goofball. I did Cincinnati, St. Louis, and Milwaukee. All dogs. And hey, if Milwaukee gets one, it's going to be this one. Watch how they set their pitching up. Greg Counsell's pretty nifty and clever in the postseason as a manager. He's a very underrated manager. He's a great player, too. Getting it done for the Brewers. Mr. Utility. Now, we'll talk briefly about this basketball game just because, like Ira and I talked about yesterday, this is the finals. This is going to be a kind of narrative-based, monumental kind of finals. LeBron in his 10th to join Sam Jones, and I believe it's Michael Jordan for 10 finals appearances. I'm probably wrong. Fact check me. I know Sam Jones is one. Sam Jones, man, that guy could ball. Then, of course, there's the Kobe stuff. Not to be the Debbie Downer, but it's the Lakers in the final, the year that Kobe Bryant passed away. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully they get it done for him. I've got no futures tickets here. This is going to be a post-flop kind of thing. You just got to take these games one at a time, a quarter at a time. We say it all the time. Basketball's about runs. And we have to find our value, of which we are boldly convicted in. Right now it's 4.5. Heat are getting the 4.5. Over under 217.5 has not moved a lick. Lakers minus 110 on that spread line. Money line. Heat's, plus 275. On the money line, they come out and surprise the Lakers in game one. Hit more threes than them because they are a better shooting team. Lakers struggle to defend the perimeter. The Heat do it better. They actually have resistance on the inside. So I think Adebayo on Anthony Davis is actually going to be very interesting. Then you got guys like Iguodala, who's been against LeBron face-to-face, head-to-head in the finals before. Look for the Heat to maybe snag tonight. So if I'm looking, maybe that National League Central parlay that I was talking about, throw this Heat money line at plus 275 in there, bam, you got a pizza parlay. Obviously small unit sizes. But again, those are all plus odds that I think have a really good shot at happening tonight. And with the Brewers, I don't think it should be plus 200. It's more like a plus 180 for me. This one, I was kind of shocked it was plus 275. I don't like betting against playoff LeBron. But it's the Heat. I mean, they've been there, done that. Spoelstra coaching against LeBron after winning one with him. And Pat Riley, he's still running things in Miami. This will be a very interesting series. I'm gonna sprinkle a little morning dew on the Heat money line. Plus 275. That's almost 3 times your money. Before I wrap it up, guys, I'm gonna talk a little bit about some upcoming stuff that I really like. I shouted out the Chanticleers yesterday. So we're going back to the well on Coastal Carolina. So I'm not going to go over that again. But, another spot that I'm looking for this college football slate. Here we go. Here's a diamond. Y'all are going to like this. Give me the 26.5 points that Jacksonville State is getting from Florida State. Florida State continues to just be this cesspool of hot garbage that their football program is. And it's a damn shame because they have so many 5-star talents on this team, but yet they are just dog doo-doo. It is just ridiculous. Lose to Georgia Tech in your first game this season. Georgia Tech gets blown out by Syracuse by 20. What did they do against Miami? Absolutely nothing. So, yeah, give me Jacksonville State. This is a small school, obviously, but I can tell you a little bit about them. They're successful in their level. They've got a quarterback that's been in the system a couple years. They're part of the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, which, as you all know, or may not, they're part of the black colleges, the national black colleges. So they're a university that is, in that historical small, African-American college university institute hotbed. Some greats have come out of there. Gail Sayers recently just passed away. So I want to say, oh man, there was a Steelers receiver, not Lynn Swan, but Joe Randall. He was from there. Warren Moon, maybe. Warren. I know Randall Cunningham. So Yeah, heritage, tradition. They actually put out a lot of good talent and the SWAC, so do not overlook it. Take the 26.5 points against the, oh, pardon my French, the shitty Seminoles. Oh my gosh, this team is just bad. And then, since I'm giving out crazy, crazy, crazy dogs and lots of points, I'm going to go ahead and bet against the number one team of Clemson. I'm taking 28 points with Virginia. This team is, the team that lost to Clemson by a lot of points in the ACC championship game last year, but they got there. They got there with a different quarterback, but they got there with the same exact offensive line, the same run game, the same continuity. 28 points is a lot. And UVA, Bronco Mendenhall, he is a good coach. He's a great coach. He schemes defensively. This 28 points, I don't understand it, to be honest. I know it's Clemson, it's the number one team, but I think that might just be the fluorescence of it. So, yeah, give me Jacksonville State. I'm going to take the 28 with Virginia. We're throwing that on a teaser card because I'm going to get 35 points, 34 points between those bets. Like, I'll take points, I like me some favorites sometimes, but from what y'all have probably gathered by now, I roll with dogs usually, and I don't chalk it up. That's, why my unit sizes are so, in the positive, even though my records are pretty close to, 55, 50%. Except NFL, I'm hitting at 62%, guys. Check it out on the Action Network and on Tally site. I post those, You're getting all the stuff on that. That's Devin with 6 Coors Lights posting his bets. So, definitely we'll be talking more college football. There's a fun slate. At first looks, I was kind of eerie about it, but I'm starting to see some stuff that I really like. So, again, check me out on Twitter, DALE007, Hoopball Gaming. You'll see random stuff thrown in there. Let's throw a couple NFL games out there for discussion, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up, get on out of here so you guys can look into these bets, enjoy your day, and hopefully get over the hump of what today is. I'm going to roll with New Orleans -4 on the road. They're a possession better of it, and by possession I mean touchdown. They're a touchdown better of a team. It's possible they get Michael Thomas back, so I think you jump on the 4s now because they're going to be long gone if he's ruled in. Detroit got Kenny Golladay back. They did well last week. I took them as a dog on the spread and money line, so I'm looking for that. I like New Orleans in this spot. They're underperforming. Now, if I remember right, Sean Payton, coming off of a loss, pretty decent, pretty good coach. Fact check me, let me know if you know that exact number. And then, heck, why not throw my team in a bet? My Seahawks are going to be taking on the Dolphins. I'm looking at over 54.5. There's a chance that Seattle scores 40 by themselves, the way they're going. I saw a stat, and I tweeted it out. Russell Wilson is on pace to throw 74.7 touchdowns this year. Just saying. It's not going to happen, obviously, but geez Louise. It's crazy. Seattle allows the most passing yards and touchdowns to receivers in Fantasyscape and NFL. They have probably the worst ranked pass defense. So look for Mr. Fitzmagic to sling it and ding it. Get it done. Throw for like 300 yards and maybe 2-3 touchdowns and 2-3 interceptions. The ball's going to be in the air all day. It's a noon kick, so lots of fireworks to get it rolling. Plus fun colors. The Dolphins colors, the Seahawks colors. It'll be cool to see on the field together. Heck, one more. Under 45 in the Tampa Bay Chargers game. Tampa Bay, LA. LA coming on a road trip out to Tampa Bay. from state to state, corner to corner. Opened at 45.5. I jumped on my under 45. It's already down to 43.5. So, do with that what you will. Maybe first half under, since the best of the number for the full game's gone. My number's right around 44. You could see a 27-17 game. 2010. Wish it was 2010. 2020 sucks. It's getting better. We're getting out of it, guys. All right. I think that's enough. That's enough playoff baseball. You guys got to listen to this so you can, get some takes. One of the first game just started, so my apologies for running long. Just get excited about football. Got some really good stuff coming up. Keep an ear out. Keep an eye out. You know where to find us. At DALE007 on Twitter. Of course, Ira was not here today, but he's at Ira Silver Magic. Just as important to this operation as anybody. He's the lifeblood. We love Ira. And, reach us there. Ask any questions. Interact. I've been interacting with some new listeners and kind of doing some grassroots marketing, and I really am enjoying it. And I actually, I got a guy to shout out here, and I'll get him out here and, show my appreciation. We got Philip Savaz. He followed me. I sent a message and I said, hey, bud, I appreciate it. If you would listen to the podcast, if you like it, listen up and leave a 5-star on Apple. Speaking of which, y'all should all do that. I'm not going to go into a huge spiel on it, but it's easy to do. So, but yeah, he's, his Twitter handle is at PSavaz26 on Twitter. So, we had a pretty good discussion about college football. And then, it was a fun discussion. And then he followed me and started looking into some of the content. So, Philip, thank you again, boss. I really like that 5-star review, helping us out, helping us grow. And, hope all is well, bud. And one other guy I've been just chatting it up with, a great listener. He listens every day. And I kind of talked to him about it yesterday, but didn't give him an actual Twitter handle shout out. But that is Adam, and his Twitter handle is going to be Adam KERCK. I just wanted to make sure I got all those K's and C's in the right place. So thanks again, Adam. I've been really enjoying our chats and the bets that we've been talking about and the banter and the fantasy football advice. So yeah, at Adam KERCK. Thanks again, Adam and Philip. You guys are awesome, and we appreciate having you within this Hoopball family. That's what it is, guys. It is family. It's love. We appreciate everything that we get from you as far as listens and everything. Make sure to use those promo codes. Help us grow, and we'll all just kind of grow together, and it'll be really fun. It will. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. You listen up for the postseason breakdown stuff, and keep an eye out for other things, Action Network, Tally Site, Twitter, all that good stuff. Again, I'm Devin Ellington, and this is Hoopball Gaming, Today in Sports Betting. It was my pleasure. I will talk to you soon, guys. Everybody take care and be safe.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.